Hello, everyone. I don't know why I said it like that. Hi. So I'm live. Just want to hang out with people. I've had a day off work today, and I just felt, why not? Why not chat with everyone? Also a new video came out, so that's good. Hiya. Yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed the new video. I'm quite proud of it. Um, Honestly, if you put it side by side of like the first Croneo video, it's like, yeah, that's not gonna be comparable. Because like I've learned so much, but I'm probably gonna get a new laptop soon because if you were here for the last live stream I did, I kept having technical difficulties because my laptop overheated, and that issue prevailed me. Like it was an issue while I was editing as well. So I'm gonna hopefully see about getting a new laptop. Hello, everyone who said hello. Yes, I was in Fruipy's new video. You just asked would I want to do it, and I said yeah. Just popping in while at work, have fun, and have fun live, and much like yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah. So I think that before I don't see any questions just yet. So I think what I'm going to speak about first is the thing I did with Fruipy. So for those who don't know, if school started for you, as in like it's the school season, or you are entering school now. Because if you're entering school now, go do school things. Um, but yeah, so um, Gabe just asked me, would I want to do it? I said yeah. I sent him some Pokemon, or some of my Fakemon, and I just read out what he wanted me to say, which I interpreted differently from someone else. So it's like someone was very much like, yeah, I make these videos in the video, and I'm like, I'm from this region, because I was like, I know he does it in a sort of visual novel style thing. For those who aren't aware, Fruity Art does this series called Pokemon Eclipse, and he has this weird battle frontier thing where Poketubers use Pokemon from their YouTube videos. So, but with a final Pokemon from the Hoax region, the region in Pokemon Eclipse, and they sort of the trainer merges with the Pokemon, and I was very flattered. I was very flattered with the depiction, because I was like, oh, I kind of want to be like Hoaxian Dunsparce. But no, I got given the one based on the creator of Gravity Falls. I remember I said to my boyfriend, like, oh, I asked to be a joke, but he made me God. So that was something. That was something. I was very flattered, and if he's watching this, I'm very flattered. But yeah, if anyone has any questions, I don't think I'll be here for very long, but I never really plan how long I do these things. I mean, I'm obviously going to be here for longer than like these first 5 minutes. It's definitely going to be somewhat longer than that. Also, if you've got any questions about the new video, feel free to ask them. I did make a new Croneo video. We are really getting to the end of Croneo now. If we're not including videos where I am just editing together existing videos, like doing a marathon of content, if we're not counting any of those, then there's 3 videos left. and I'm done. Like, unironically, I am waiting on the Champions art to be done, and that's all. That's all, and then that's the final bit of art for Croneo done. Well, I say that. There's also an item that I need done as well, but yeah. But yeah, Croneo's nearly done, and it's been a fun ride. I'll probably do a live stream sometime after I release the final video and go like, "Oh, the end of Croneo stream." Um, yeah, but like I'm doing a new region as well, so like you've got that to look forward to as well. But yes, any questions at all? It doesn't have to be about the new video. You can ask me what my favorite color is. It's purple, by the way. Purple's my favorite color. But you can just ask me things. I don't mind what. If I don't want to answer it, I won't, and I'll make it clear. But any question about Croneo, things that aren't really spoilers, I'll be happy to answer. Yeah. You commented on some vids of mine about how you want to make a Fate 1 region, Italy based. You can't draw on the Pokemon style or even make Pokemon. I mean, realistically, I'm quite lucky I can afford to commission art, but I don't personally I don't think that being in the Pokemon style is like necessary for your creative flow. If you want to try and replicate it, go ahead. But it's not a necessity in my opinion. It's something I prefer and have the luxury to be able to do. But yeah, at the end of the day, I just want my critters to look fun and unique, and regardless of what style they're in. Yeah, I'm making an Ireland and Scotland region as separate regions or as the same. I would assume separate. But thank you. I'm honored. I'm honored, John. The same region. Well, Ireland and Scotland are very different. So, yeah, that's the thing. They're not really the same culture. And I know like there are similarities and there is overlap. But historically speaking, there's a reason I didn't take all that much inspiration from Irish culture, unless if it was something shared between cultures, and was distinctly also part of Scottish culture. So yeah, one day I might do an Ireland region of my own. Um, I'm just not 100% sure like how like what the story would be. So what's my favorite Croneo Pokemon? I mean, everyone always asks me this, and I'm just like, well, they're all my favorite, really. It's like trying to choose a favorite child, but you have like well over 100 children. It's like, no, I can't really choose favorite. Like the answer I always give is like the Chroneomon that I feel like from like concept to execution, I feel like went so amazingly, and I felt like I put the most work in the early stages, and the execution was so great, and that's Dracula and Nosferatu. So Yeah, that's why that's in my team for the in the Fruipy video. I picked Nosferatu because I was very proud of how that one turned out. I picked Prydion because Eevee's my favorite Pokemon, and gotta like represent like being in the queer community, being in the LGBT community, being bisexual. That's all of that is like important to me and an important part of my identity. And yeah, so that's why I picked that. And with Stoutzy, uh, like the Lillipup line is like one of my favorite Pokemon lines. Outside of like Eevee and Oshawott, which is my favorite starter, the Lillipup line's my favorite. So I really like Stoutzy. I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna get Stoutzy on that team. But yeah, I've not actually checked the comment section. I hope people are not being mean. You know. Anyways, are you having a brat summer? I am having a brat summer. It's a very brat summer. I mean, these past few weeks have not been very brat, but like, overall, I'm in a good place this summer. Just been having some stressfulness stuff over the past few weeks, which is why I took the day off work today. I took the day off work so I can just rest. I was originally gonna like I was originally going to take Friday, today, and tomorrow off. I get weekends off work. I mean that's pretty standard, but like no, it's a pretty clear cut. Yeah, no one can. Most people at my work can't really work weekends due to the nature of the work. So yeah, um, but yeah, I was originally going to take a much extended weekend so I can like travel to and from somewhere. But it just was getting more stressful to like actually go there than not, so I backed out quite last minute. Anyway, what's my do I like penguins? Yeah, I think penguins are fine. Yeah. What's my favorite Pokemon? I've already just said Eevee's my favorite Pokemon. My second favorite Pokemon is like the Oshawott line, and my third favorite Pokemon is the Lillipup line. So, yeah, I love those. Hello, Pokerex. Yeah, any more Croneo related questions? Like saying what's my favorite list, what's my favorite that, you're not really going to get that much out of me there. Just more asking about, oh, like what led you to this, what led you to that, that sort of thing. Hello, Mr. Capybara. What is currently my favorite Cronian Pokemon? Well, as I just said, I mean, you weren't here for when I gave the answer of they're all my favorite. Yeah, like I can't really pick one. That's the thing. I get asked this so many times. It's like, hey, all these things you enjoyed making? No, you've got to enjoy one of them the most. I'm like, no, I enjoy all of them. So it's hard to actually ascribe like favorite to any of them. Like there's so many degrees of pride, I guess, that I have. Like I'm very, because like I'm proud of the work I put into Nosferatu, uh, but I'm proud of how the execution of something like Obsidian happened. So yeah. What is my opinion on Eternatus? I think Eternatus is kind of cool. I mean, I say kind of like it's pretty cool. I don't really think about it too much, but it's like it's fine. It does what it needs to do. I enjoy what it does. Does Croneo have any headcanons? Croneo is a fictional location. It's like asking, does Westeros have any headcanons? Does Kanto have any headcanons? Does Hyrule have any headcanons? Does Earth 616 have any cannons or headcanons? You know, it's a location. I'm not quite sure what you're trying to ask, but I don't think it was that. But that is what the question says, so that is my response to the question. If that's not really what you were asking, I request you rephrase it. I don't know why I'm saying it so clinically. Like, I request you rephrase. Eh, eh. Oh no. For the characters, well, what about the characters? Do they have head? Well, I don't really understand what the question's trying to ask. Do I know the entire FNAF timeline? No. It keeps expanding quicker than I can like learn it, and there were I kind of dipped out after FNAF 4 because there were like a lot of contradictory shenanigans going on. So I was just like, nah. Um, the newer games look pretty decent. So yeah. Um, what's my favorite non-Croneo fossil Pokemon? Here's the thing, right? The reason it took me so long to make the Croneo fossils, and I know this isn't what you're asking, but this will lead into well, the short answer is I don't really have one. Long answer is the reason it took me so long to make the Croneo fossils videos because I did not know how to make fossil Pokemon because it's not really the kind of design niche or kind of niche of how I play Pokemon to really do. Because by the time like you get a fossil, like by the time you get a fossil, it's like, well, you forgot either the revival process is too late or it's so early that you've kind of moved on. And I'm just like, it's not. I've never really used a fossil Pokemon before, like properly. So sorry, that's not a good. It's not a good answer, but I don't really have much attachment to any of them. I guess Archeops looks cool. Its abilities kind of, but like you can work around it if you're good enough at the game. Like you can, it's pretty good. I've never used it. I intend to one day. That's probably the first fossil Pokemon I actually am heavily considering using. If Black and White get remakes, I'll probably use it. Yeah. What inspired my YouTube icon? Well, my YouTube icon is Eevee wearing an outfit for that the Doctor from Doctor Who wore a lot in the 70s. And I say wore a lot in the 70s because that's probably the most iconic imagery associated with the Doctor from Doctor Who. The reason why that I fuse the two is because Eevee's my favorite Pokemon and I'm a PokeTuber. And Doctor Who is my favorite show ever, and in terms of a special interest, that kind of eclipses Pokemon at times, and historically has been my main interest. But like, I really like Pokemon too. I really like making Pokemon content. I really like doing the content I do on the channel. So, yeah. What is my favorite evolution? Oh, it would have it. Whichever one I'm currently using to be like, I know these questions aren't really satisfying, but I really do like all of them. Well, I say I like well, I do like all of them, but I only really love like Vaporeon, Jolteon, Espeon, Umbreon, and Sylveon. The other three I don't really use. The Glaceon, no one like it's very hard to like actually get a Glaceon at a point where you'd want to have an evolved evolution. Leafeon, I considered using a Leafeon in Platinum, but I just felt like Magnezone fit my team composition more. Yeah, and Flareon is just unfortunate with its move pool. That's all. My team in Croneo is Dandelion, Nosferatu, Fryvern, Nescade, Gloriana, and Cronian Snorlax. Okay. That is a bit of a balance. Yeah, that's pretty good. What Fakemon account got me into Fakemon? I think the first one was, well, I'm getting deja vu because I know I've answered this question a few times, but like Loxton and doing Cascade kind of got me thinking, what would I do if I did something like that? I found it quite interesting. What made me go, yeah, I want to really do this now, is seeing stuff like Brandon and Mycomon, like Pragmagic rather than Mycomon. How much FNAF lore do I know? I've probably forgotten like half of what I did know. Like, because like 4 FNAF games released within like the span of like a year or two, like that was, but I kind of fell off after FNAF 4, so it was like, it's been, what, like 7 years since I really engaged with FNAF. I'm an adult now. I don't really think about FNAF a lot. Not saying adults don't. I just kind of not into it, so I don't really know. Nor do I currently have interest in knowing. What's my favorite Cascade Pokemon? Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. Hmm. Cascade Pokemon. I think, I don't know if this is my favorite, but this is kind of the one that got me going, oh, I really like what this is doing. Is the Quail line. I don't know. I'll probably use a Quail on my team. I just really liked how everything fit together, you know, and just that whole thought process is just kind of great. I love it. Um, is Nosferatu canonically allergic to garlic? Well, whatever a garlic equivalent in Pokemon would be. Like, if I ever made a garlic themed Fakemon, then that would be a sort of relationship they have, you know. I'm just gonna say, I am making another Fakemon region, and Croneo is going to be canonical, if that makes sense. So if you follow, like, say, Michael Ryan, Mycomon, his regions all share a universe, so that's why you see different variants of some of his own Fakemon. Yeah. Croneo and my next region will be yeah. My next region and Croneo will share a universe, I guess. So it's not going to be a case of like you're going to see a lot of returning stuff. It like there might be some, but I do want it to be its own thing. I'm not wanting it to be super duper like because Croneo is, when I say Croneo is going to end soon, like its story will be done, and the the next region will take place, like its storyline will take place around the same time as Orpiment. So a lot of the stuff happening in Croneo, like they'll all be busy. So there won't be that many returning characters. There may be some returning Fakemon that appear on some people's teams. There may be even some fan service. I say fan service. I mean like nostalgia bait is what I mean. Historically speaking, I've said earlier I was a Doctor Who fan. I am a Doctor Who fan, and typically in that fandom, fan service typically just means nostalgia. Like it's not unheard of to use fan service to refer to the thing you might think fan service is in pretty much every other context. But yeah, so if I ever say fan service in the context of like Pokemon, unless if I'm being very clear that I'm meaning the typical thing, just take it as assumed I'm not meaning anything not safe for work. But anyways, yeah, there's not going to be any. Well, I say there's not going to be. There's not going to be much in the way of nostalgia bait Pokemon, but there may be some. There may be variants and cross evolutions, maybe even some convergence of some Chroneomon. I won't say which. But there will be. I've commissioned some already, so some art is finalized of some, but there will be some. Well, I can confirm how many, but I won't actually say which. Yeah, Tofrog's a pretty good one. I didn't want to say Tofrog because that sounded like a basic answer, but Tofrog's up there for sure as well. I would probably also have like Tofrog and Kasakazagas as on my team. I don't know about a Matthew birthing a baby Springtrap or a Vasgu. No, I don't. No, I don't. That just sounds like some things that like younger Gen Z and Gen Alpha are spewing on TikTok, to be honest. What do I think Gen 10 will be? I don't really know. I don't really mind. Like, I don't actually. Like, the thing is, I don't really like doing speculation like that because it just doesn't feel like a new generation doesn't feel real until it's announced. I wasn't even thinking about Gen 9, right? Until we literally saw the starters on screen, like live. I was watching the presents live and I wasn't even thinking about Gen 9. And then as soon as the starters were revealed, I'm like, okay, so we're getting Gen 9. Like, legit. Like, I don't. That's just not how my brain works. Like, I'm not thinking about Gen 10. I'm thinking about whatever we're currently looking towards, whatever we've currently got, and hypothetical Unova remakes, because I'm just that kind of person who Unova, yes, please, all of it, please. Unova best games. What's my opinion on New Zealand? I've never been. Met a few New Zealanders. They seemed pretty cool. I like Taika Waititi as a director. He's from New Zealand. I don't really have much opinions on New Zealand, good or bad. Yeah, that's it. I mean, if I ever went, I'd probably be like, yeah. I mean, to be fair, like, wasn't Lord of the Rings filmed there? Or am I thinking Australia? Have I seen the movie Boy? I have not yet, but I hear good things about it. But I have heard, well, I have seen a lot of his other work. Like, I've seen the What We Do in the Shadows movie. I mean, I've seen both of his Thor films as well. But I've also seen Hunt for the Wilder People and Jojo Rabbit. Like, those are like I've seen plenty of his films, so I'm not like a fake fan. I've just not seen Boy yet. What's Boy? It's a film by Taika Waititi. Yes, Lord of the Rings is Lord of the Rings is filmed in New Zealand. Okay, good. I mean, I like the Lord of the Rings movies. I mean, I've only seen them once, but I do like them. Fun fact: my brother Sam is named after Samwise Gamgee. My brother was born long before these movies came out. Like he must have been like a teenager when they came out. So yeah, because my mum and his dad, well, he's my half brother. Well, all of my siblings are half siblings, but I call them my siblings. It's quicker. Um, my mum and his dad really liked the Lord of the Rings books. Oh well, I don't know how much my mum liked them, but like I don't think she disliked them. So yeah. Um, is there any scrapped Pokemon of Croneo? Yes, but none of them have art. So I can't really do a sort of thing like, Pragmagic and Mycomon made of like, oh, here's my scrap Pokemon, because I have nothing to show. But it's a talking point that was actually interesting enough where myself and Scarfles actually made we're doing a podcast episode based on that. So yeah, that's actually the next podcast video. Like that's actually we've already recorded it, and I would be editing it, but I decided to do this instead. So yeah, if you want to hear about that, go and go and watch it when it's out, or listen to it. Like it'll, yeah. Uh, Hi SG Tarn. Um, ask a million questions. Okay, I mean, feel free to ask a million more here. Uh, oh, Moosey Donut or Mousy Donut. Sorry. Um, yeah, that's you. Okay, yeah. Sorry, it just displayed two different usernames in the same profile pic. How is Decay doing? He's doing all right. I saw him earlier. We don't live together, but yeah. I stayed over at his for the weekend and also today. I had the day off today, and I just wanted to spend more time with him this weekend as a way to relax because I've had a very stressful few weeks recently, but I'm good. I'm also eating a biscuit. Who is Decay? Decay is my boyfriend. So yeah. Am I eating wagon wheels again? No, I'm not. I'm currently eating this thing called a seal bar, which is like a penguin bar. If you've ever had those, it's like a knockoff brand thing. Maybe a knockoff, but it tastes like just the same. So which Cronian Turtonator and redacted Drampa, because I have revealed a Drampa variant on Instagram, which is from a next region. Would they be friends? I mean, maybe. I don't know. I don't. I don't think they wouldn't be. I'm sure any Pokemon can be friends with one another. I think he can even get a Zangoose and Seviper to be friends. To be honest, it's Faklecky and Drampa. Ah, yes, Faklek. Oh, that's totally the region name. Yep, totally. We do not discuss what happened in the last stream. I mean, it being the right amount of letters is not going to give the game away. So, like, you know, it's not exactly gonna spoil what its name is, what the name of the region is. You can track his location if you want. Well, yeah, I did that, but also you can't find the stream. I remember my friend and me fighting over which was better. He liked penguin bars and I like sea bars. I mean, they're the same thing. I prefer like I prefer penguin bars because they have jokes on them. They have jokes on the packaging, and I like jokes. Have I tried surstroming? I don't know what that is. Doop 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 doop. Any more questiones about Croneo? Don't know why I'm saying it so fancy. Like, any more questions about Croneo? Will I make the list of returning Chronimons public on Discord? I mean, uh, hopefully at some point. I've just been busy. Like, if someone else wants to like make like a sort of infographic of that, they can, because I would prefer it to be like a sort of visual image rather than just a wall of text. So I can share them elsewhere as well. So yeah, what's my opinion on Crocodile? I mean, I've used one and it was very good. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Well, happy birthday, Mr. Capybara. Who's my favorite starter I've made? Again, I can't really pick a favorite starter because like I like them all. It just feels wrong. We'll attempt to make one Marcy Donuts. Okay. I'd recommend using like the sort of like the Gen 9 style like sprites, or like the sort of drawings of each of the returning mon. And just, yeah. It could just be like a tier list sort of thing, to be honest. I could just make it a tier list of all the mon that return as well. That's an infographic enough. If I played Croneo, which two starters would I pick for my first playthrough? You can only pick one starter though. Unless if you mean the Kanto starters, which are optional. But I don't know if I'd pick one of them. I would probably pick Ocat on my first playthrough, simply because Musifer, I designed around Decay's cat. I know I said my cat in the video, we kind of consider Pebbles our cat, and at that particular point, Pebbles was living with me, because Decay's current living situation at that point was not one where pets could be a thing, but that's different now. So yeah, out of all the Fake Mon starters, my group was hardest to pick. Yeah, probably because there's 6 of them instead of just 3. So yeah, because something to note is that Croneo has 6 starters. It's not, oh, it's 2 sets of 3. No, it's essentially 1 set of 6. In Agate and Obsidian, you initially get to pick from 3, but you can just not pick any of them for story related reasons, and then you get to pick from another 3. But you get all 6 at once in Orpiment. So yeah, I explain these in the plot videos, so check them out if you need a refresher. They're good videos. I say the plot videos. The plot video for the story video for Agate Obsidian, and then I guess the introduction video for Orpiment. I don't know if I'm gonna, like, for the starter video of my next region, do a sort of similar thing of here's what the start of the game would be like. I don't know. I don't know when I would show that. I don't know. I kind of do want to, but like the guy I'm getting to do my starters is also the guy that I get to do most of my character designs. So, Mucifer is better than Meowscarada. I like Meowscarada a lot. That's all I'll say. Yeah. I mean, I don't really care about one things being better than other things. I just care about, oh, do I like it? Yeah. That's why it's hard for me to like make a top 10 Pokemon list, because it's like, well, I know what my top 3 is going to be. 4, typically I say Rowlet's my 4th favorite, but like everything else just feels kind of arbitrary. I do really like Tinkaton though, so that might be 5th, but then everything after that, and I consider like entire Pokemon lines, so everything after that would be kind of arbitrary. I'm making an Aussie region, and I would like your opinion on this. A Kiwi Pokemon called Kiweed, who changes secondary type depending on the seeds you give it. It grows uh a back plant too of its type. So wait, if you evolve it, it gains another type. So it's basically like Eevee. A Kiwi Eevee. Is it am I right in saying it's like Eevee? It doesn't evolve. Okay, so it's so it changes type based on what item it's holding. Right. Yeah. Okay. I just ask like what draws you to that idea. Um and then after that I'll probably be like, yeah, all right. What game would I pick if Croneo was a real game? I'd probably play through both at some point. You know, if I really wanted certain version exclusives, or I guess maybe that could be what Orpament's for me. I don't know. The thing is, Orpiment is a sequel, so like, I mean, I'd have that, and I'd just have one of the other two. I don't really care which. It's Oricorio like okay. Um, yeah. So why like Kiwi? Why Kiwi? Are they found in Australia? I don't know. I've not really looked into it. Any more questions? Doopy-doo, doopy-doo. Making noises so people don't think the stream is dead. It's a pun that kiwi is a bird and a plant. They are found in Australia too, but this line also found in a New Zealand DLC where it also gets new types. It was also a design and name I came before. Okay, that's fair. The stars in my Scottish and Irish region are Circo, the grass starter, Calcu evolves into Wemu, and finally Mauxb, gaining the steel type based on Highland cows and how Vikings would use them. Okay, I don't know how you would pronounce that final name. And Circo Crico the grass starter. I don't really know what the grass starter is based on the name. It doesn't have to, but you didn't really explain it. Any more questions? The fire starter is cup what? The fire starter is cup. I thought you said it was. Oh, I thought that you. Oh right, so that the cow was the grass starter. Okay, that was it was confusingly written. The fire starter is cub coal that evolves into Punkabear, and finally Grizzpulsion, gaining the ice type based on bears. Okay. I'm just like not 100% sure what they. I probably wouldn't be 100% sure what these design inspirations would be, unless if I like saw them. But yeah. Any questions about Croneo? Anyone? Because if the stream's going dead, I'll probably end it soon. Because I wasn't planning on being here all too long anyway. Any questions? Water starter is Bebub and evolves into Spoiver, and then Beeberoot, now water ground. Okay. Any questions about just Croneo or even my next region, if you want? Any at all. I'll probably end it soon if not. What's my favorite gym league? I mean, again, as I said like earlier in the stream, like favorite this, favorite that of Coronia. I mean, I like all of it, so I can't really say who a favorite is. Do you know the starters from my new region yet? I know what I'm gonna do for them. They've not been done yet, though. Like, yeah, I'm not gonna reveal what they are yet. Um, yeah. Well, if yeah. Does anyone else have any questions? Because this like the to clarify for those who aren't seeing stream or chat replay, um, I'm saying anyone else because uh, the person who just asked a question just said they're done with or that's all their questions. So if no one else has any questions, I'll probably just end it here. Uh, just gonna give you a little time. How am I doing? I'm doing all right. Considering ending the stream if no more questions are coming in though. Well, if there's not really any more questions, I suppose. Yeah, well, I suppose that'll be me. Um, yeah. Feel free to uh, browse my other content, and I'll see you guys another time. I'll. Ooh, what is my favorite design or design? I assume you mean design of my region. I mean, I've already. That's not okay, right? So for the third time this stream, and I've been asked this many times, asking me to pick what my favorite thing out of over 100 things that I like isn't really a question I can answer because it's like, I like all of them, but I have to like one. Like, no, I don't think like that. But anyways, that'll be me. I'll see you guys again. Hopefully I'll stream again at some point. I don't know when. But yeah. See you around.